Greetings, everyone. Greetings, 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 wherever you are. I hope your day is going fantastic. I know all you hear is seeing the news about the world falling, but the changes that you see happening are changes, I should say, not one, but changes that go in cycles. To see Roman history 2,000 years ago, read about what the Romans were complaining about, the philosophers of the Romans and the Greeks, Persians, what they were talking about mirror what happened today. If you go 2,000 years before that, you'll see that the philosophers of that time were talking about the same events. And if you go 2,000 years before that, you'll say that they're talking about the same event. Look at all the events and all the history, all the stories that are told, and you see that it's a cycle repeated. We have the same foundation. However, those who are not taught the knowledge can't see the foundation. Like today you have the people who are called African Americans. Most of them don't see their story. Most of them don't see their story having roots past slavery. If you ask them about their family tree, they say, oh, my family came from North Carolina. We came out of slavery, this place and that place. We moved to this place after this. That's 75 years ago. In some cases, 120 years, 140 years. When people talk about history, or they ask me about my family, where's your family from? If I say Africa, because I know, they'll say, no. I'm talking about where your family from. I said, Africa. They said, no. Where's your family from? You're from, you speak like you have an accent from somewhere. Where's your family from? When I was growing up, from childhood, I was in the care of my great aunt. Some people say grand aunt, but she was my father's mother, sister. And the stories that I heard from her, I heard from my father. Father said, we came from Benin. But I didn't only learn the story of my family from my father. I learned it from someone much older than him or my aunt. Or her mother and her mother. But your foundation is very important. That's why you see in the book that people call the Bible, those multiple books that they try to make into one. And then the people who the Romans called the Jews. And we're not talking about the ones from Europe that took and run with that one. And today call themselves by that name. That's why they say we came from Palestine, because the Romans gave them that name. But the ones in that area at the time were not Hebrew people of today. The ones the Romans called Jews were the people who married into the Hebrew people, the upper echelons of the Hebrew people, and took over, brought their culture into it. And the Romans give them power over us. Same thing happens today. If you look at the history of today, you look at our story today, you'll see that America is giving them power over us. Don't you see that? The British gave them power over us. Don't you see that? That's why they are there in Palestine. But anyway, we're talking about foundation. That's what you see written in the books. I am the creator, the one who created your forefathers, Isaac, Abraham, Jacob. Because those people didn't know their foundation either. Had to be taught their foundation. They only knew slavery in Egypt. That's all they knew. That's their foundation. Same thing happening today. Our foundation is built on, you're from the Caribbean, you're from Brazil, you're from Central America, Mexico, Guatemala, Colombia. No foundation. Instead of seeking out the foundation, you see the African of the day, he set his foundation on Islam, on the foundation of the Arab. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me start this thing. I met in Gambia. I meet a lot of people in Gambia. One impressed me quite a bit. He's elder and knows his story. of his life as a Gambian. He has told to me a lot of the things that I know about Gambia. Walk me through the streets of Brikama and Turntable, you know, walk me through the area. Even the area where we bought our land, Calcutta. And he said, this street was bought, the British paved this street. It looks the same way. The street has not been changed except the erosion, the potholes, has never been fixed since the British left 60 years ago. That house was there when I was a child. This house was here, this family is here, this family is there. This family owned the whole area, this family owned that area, this family. Teaching me the history, the foundation upon which today's Gambia is built. And when I say built, I don't mean that improvements were made to the physical structure, but the mentality of letting things fall apart instead of building on what they had when the British left. And that happened all over Africa. One of the things that happened in Africa is the African leaders talk to each other. Whatever one does, the other does. And the people, the normal people, are so busy looking to be entertained, to try to forget the surroundings that they live in. That they don't see the story of, don't keep the story of what was there and try to build on it. Man inherited a house from his father and he doesn't patch the holes in the walls, redo the roof, paint the house. I've seen it. I've physically seen it. He just moves in, the house is falling apart. They'll put a bucket on the floor to catch the water that falls through the roof. When it gets too bad, they go out and buy some used corrugate. The house needs to be repaired now. New house needs to be built. We have a problem. And we better get started fixing it. The foundation is beginning to get eroded. The foundation that Africa was built on. The old foundation that our great our fathers 10,000 years ago built is beginning to erode now. And when the foundation gets eroded, even if you rebuild the walls, your house gonna fall. You're looking for entertainment instead of fixing the issues that you have, looking at those issues and trying to paint over them with entertainment. Just look at what's happened to England, France, Germany. Those are the places that y'all want to leave Africa and run to, and that your leaders are sending you to. Look at what's happening in Israel now. You got African leaders sending hundreds of thousands of Africans to Israel to work on the farm, to build Israeli farms, to take land to kill off their indigenous people, take their land, and Africans going there in slavery to these Caucasians from Europe. The same people who helped the apartheid people in Rhodesia, South Africa, Mozambique. Same people. These African leaders are sending them now to go help build their land, while the foundation of our land, as African leaders are eroding it, destroying the foundation. You gotta know your history. There's a lot of African history I don't know. But that which I know, when I drive around Gambia, any other place I've been to, Nigeria, Ghana, it hurts me to see that after 60 years, that things get worse instead of better. We know what's happening in the US, but we don't have control of that. England, France, Germany, wherever we live, we don't have control of that. And what's happening to them is to allow us to build our own, shaking their foundations. Distracting them gives us the power, give us the ability, that room to start strengthening our own foundation, start building our own house. And we're not doing that. Go back 2,000 years, 4,000 years, 6,000 years, when the power that was in power that time was falling, the smaller powers were building their foundations. That's how they came to power. Africa better start building. There's no guarantee that, as a matter of fact, 2063 is the worst date that you can ever have for a plan right now. Better start working on developing Africa today. By next year, by 2025, there should be a plan. By 2025, there should be a general plan in Africa with all the governments involved, connecting all of Africa together. Roads, power, and water. No one should starve in Africa. Not one. There are too many trees that grow too many fruits. Too much land that can be planted. Too much water going to waste. They don't start by next year. You have to start changing the people who you select to lead you. One of the problems of democracy is that you can buy the leaders, and then your country turns into what you see happening in America. African leaders are refusing to look at what's happening to America and England and learn from it. You got two old men controlled by who? No young people. And the young people are the ones who's going to be the next generation. 30 years old. These old men die, leaving their family wealthy from all the money that they took. From the Europeans. And the young people who are growing up, nobody to protect them and guide them. Time to begin a new journey. Foundation is there. Don't let it totally don't let it be broken up and blown away like the dust, as there's a warning about that. It'll be blown away like the dust of the earth. Don't let that happen. It can and will. There's always a choice. One warning is about the blessing, the other one is about curse, or what we call a curse. The warning's always there. Information is there, showing you what can happen if you do this and what can happen if you do that. Choose this day. Who are you going to serve? You're going to be the fathers, the creator of your fathers. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace.